The brutal truth. Let's stop lying to each other. We've all seen the inspirational quotes, the Instagram graphics, the wholesome stories about the woman who started her multi-million-dollar business at 65, or the man who ran his first marathon at 80. We see them, we hit like, and we feel this dangerous sense of relief. We tell ourselves, see, I have time. It's never too late. I'm here to tell you that it is too late. For a lot of things. The late bloom is a beautiful concept, but in the real world, most late blooms are just wilted flowers. They are the remnants of what could have been a forest, reduced to a single, struggling bud in the middle of a drought. You can start at 50. You can start at 60. But you will never, ever get back the version of yourself that could have done it at 25. The ghost of your prime. Think about your body right now. Think about the energy you had 10 years ago. The way you could stay up all night, eat garbage, sleep for 3 hours, and still hit the ground running the next day. That wasn't just being young. That was a biological superpower. That was a high-octane fuel that your body only produces once. When people tell you it's never too late, they are talking about the result. They aren't talking about the experience. Sure, you can hike the Appalachian Trail at 60. But you'll do it with ibuprofen in your pocket, a brace on your knee, and a constant, nagging fear of a fall that could end your independence forever. The version of you that could have sprinted up those peaks, laughed at the rain, and recovered in an hour. That person is dead. And they died because you waited. The decay of possibility. We like to think of life as a straight line, but it's actually a series of closing doors. Every year you wait for the right time, a door slams shut. The door of physical peak, gone. The door of cognitive plasticity, closing. The door of risk tolerance, bolted shut by mortgages, kids, and health insurance. When you are 20, you can fail and sleep on a friend's couch. When you are 50, failure looks like losing your home. Failure looks like a heart attack brought on by stress that your aging cardiovascular system can no longer handle. Let's get real. If you want to be an athlete, the window is a crack. If you want to be a parent, the window is a countdown. If you want to be a titan of industry, the window is a grueling decade of 80-hour weeks that your 50-year-old back simply cannot sustain. The late bloom is often just a consolation prize for a life spent hesitating. The mourning of the unlived life. There is a specific kind of sadness that hits you in the middle of the night when you're older. It's not the sadness of failing. It's the mourning of the unlived life. It's looking in the mirror and seeing a stranger with gray hair and realizing that the beast you thought you had inside you, that drive, that fire, has turned into a flickering candle. You spent your 30s preparing. You spent your 40s securing. And now you have the money, you have the stability, but the engine is vibrating. The parts are wearing out. You might finally buy that sports car, but your eyes aren't sharp enough to drive it the way it was meant to be driven. You might finally take that world tour, but you're too tired to leave the hotel room after 8 p.m. It's a wilted flower. It's a victory, sure. But it's a victory that tastes like ash because you know, deep down, how much better it would have tasted when you were hungry. The biological tax. We don't talk about the tax. Life charges interest on your delays. If you want to get fit at 20, it takes 3 months of hard work. If you want to get fit at 50, it takes 2 years of meticulous, painful, injury-prone labor just to reach average. The late bloom narrative ignores the sheer exhaustion of starting late. It ignores the fact that your brain literally hardwires itself. Learning a new language, a new skill, or a new way of thinking at 50 is like trying to carve a canyon with a spoon. You can do it, but is it a bloom? Or is it a desperate, grinding struggle against your own declining biology? The warning, do not wait for the permission that isn't coming. The world is happy to let you wait. The world loves a consumer who stays in their lane, works their job, and buys anti-aging creams to hide the fact that they are rotting from the inside out because they aren't using their life. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop waiting for the kids to grow up. Stop waiting for the bank account to hit a certain number. By the time the circumstances are perfect, the instrument, which is you, will be broken. The pivot, the grace of the wilted petal. But does that mean you shouldn't try? Does that mean you should just sit in your chair and wait for the end? No. In fact, the reality of the wilted flower is the only thing that should actually motivate you. If you realize that your window is closing, you stop telling. You stop overanalyzing. You stop caring what the neighbors think. There is a profound, rugged beauty in a late bloom because it is so difficult. Because it is a middle finger to time. It might be a wilted flower, but it's your flower. And a wilted flower in the sun is infinitely better than a seed that rotted in the dark because it was too afraid of the wind. The wisdom of the sunset. You can't have the energy of a 20-year-old. Accept that. Mourn it. Cry about it if you have to. But you have something they don't. You have perspective. A 20-year-old runs fast, but they don't know where they're going. They waste that incredible energy on things that don't matter. They burn their fuel on ego, on vanity, on people who won't remember their names in 5 years. You don't have fuel to waste. When you act late in life, you act with a precision that the young can't imagine. You don't take the long way. You don't play games. You know exactly how much your time is worth because you can finally see the bottom of the hourglass. How to bloom even if it's late. If you are listening to this and you feel that cold pit in your stomach, that realization that you've wasted years, good. Use that fear. Acknowledge the loss, don't pretend you're 20. Acknowledge the physical limitations. Work with them, not against them. Cut the fat. You don't have time for hobbies you don't love. You don't have time for friends who drain you. The 24-hour rule: if you want to do something, start it in the next 24 hours. Not on Monday. Not next month. Your Mondays are running out. Embrace the scars. Your wilted nature is your story. The fact that you are trying despite the aches, despite the fatigue, despite the late start, that is where the soul is. The final lament. It is a tragedy to be a late bloomer. It really is. It's a tragedy that you didn't trust yourself sooner. It's a tragedy that you let fear sit in the driver's seat for 2 decades. It's a tragedy that you'll never know how high you could have jumped if you tried when your bones were springy and your heart was reckless. But the only thing more tragic than a wilted flower is a garden of what-ifs. Don't let the sun go down while you're still a seed. Bloom. Even if the petals are tattered. Even if the stem is bent. Even if you only have 1 hour of sunlight left. Open the door. Start now. Before the last petal falls.